Hello, how you doing? This is Mr. Sayah. I'm back again on my other YouTube channels. I make some commentaries. Why do black women keep trouble up? And I've been trying to figure this out between some of the things I do and between coaching and just being around the neighborhood area I'm in and just some of the thoughts I have up here in Detroit. And I've been trying to figure this out for a while because I ain't gonna lie, I've seen a lot of African American females involved in a lot of physical and verbal confrontations, a lot more than men lately. Something I never would have seen 25 years ago as a teenager. Matter of fact, honestly, my first really female fight I even saw probably was like in 1993. I was already grown then. Well, here goes with a couple of things. I'm going to refer back to a couple interesting incidents and why you have to be very careful. And this is actually advice to guys, especially women who have very short tempers. It was a situation, about 48 hours ago or so, where I was actually now outside there. I was actually cooking, and what happened was I heard some noise outside. Came outside, found what was going on. Found out that one of my neighbors down the street had got into it, a confrontation with each other while they were walking down the street from a corner store. And it's like on a Sunday morning. I'm asking what's going on. They're walking like, wait a minute. They about to have a fight. I said, hold on. They're walking with kids while doing all this. Not thinking about they both have kids. One, I think, probably has a whole bunch of relatives, cousins, or brothers, and grandmother. The other one has a boyfriend. Now, I don't know one of the two parties. I don't know. The other one, I do know the boyfriend. I know him since I was a kid. Well, situation comes down like this. They're running mouth. They're arguing each other, and they almost get into a fight. I get between them, talk to them. What happened is that everything just about gets calmed down, and then out the house of the people, all the relatives. One of the women that has all the relatives comes out. She comes, the older woman in the house comes out of the broom, comes up to the guy in the broom. Now I see during that moment he balls his fist up, and I'm thinking like, oh no, now he's ready to fight. Now he got to run. I'm about to have about 10 or 12 people out here fighting over because she had to run her mouth because the girlfriend, she had to go run her mouth off and walk out in the middle of the street to let whatever said go. Well, see, that's we have a problem is now. That's why I said, why do black women keep in trouble? Now, I admit, men are worse, more violent, but women tend to cause some of this stuff because they get started, and once the men get involved, then they can get ugly and very nasty very quickly. And I know some of you like, you're attacking women, you're attacking women. I'm certain I expect to hear that. Excuse me, I just the camera want to get a little more light here. That's a nice way to say. I understand some of y'all might think, well, he's talking about, he's dogging women and he's saying they're no good. No, that's not necessarily what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, though, is sometimes lots of what I've seen lately, a lot of women escalate stuff when the men get involved, and all of a sudden we don't even know what we're getting into. Then we got people calling relatives, people getting jumped, sometimes shot, and yes, and sometimes killed. Or because we listen to our women they get mad at something that was something like, oh, she looked at me wrong, or we had a little disagreement last night. Or like in this case, I found out later on they actually were partying, they hang out together, and I guess something happened, and one of the women like I said, is one kind of had trouble with other people for on that part of the neighborhood. So generally, I'm just saying is, just be careful. Just be careful. And I be trying to wonder what is it? Why black women? I know why black men are angry, but let's face it. You black women have all the better paying jobs, and this blah blah going on. Usually, you do halfway right, and most of the government programs are to benefit you. So I'm not saying is why you got so angry. Is it because of that? Is it because you love about your father? Because your husband, you don't have a husband, you got 3 or 4 kids or a child? Or what is the anger issue? And why you angry at each other? Or because maybe she can get afford to get her hair done? I just been wondering for some years, and this kind of brought this to a head. Actually, I meant to even make commentary about this several months ago. I just never got around to it. So I was just like, wow, just to see that happen and people just get off and arguing and fighting women over just nothing. But see, now you get these guys step into it now. So now you got these guys they're getting up trying to defend because these women are about to take home half a family with these people. Then now you get him in trouble. Now you got him trying to defend home for nothing over something because y'all couldn't agree. Sometimes you have to agree to disagree. Believe me, you might have your little words, but at some point, okay, look, you agree to disagree. I had a situation like that happen on Saturday, actually, the day before, but mine had a little bit, let's say, less potentially violent outcome, and it's one of those things we mature enough. Hey, look, we just disagree to disagree. You know, maybe we don't really talk to each other, but at least we know. Okay, you disagree, I disagree, and it was two me and another guys. Like, okay, we don't wasn't in a situation we're gonna fight, but when we disagree so bad, but it's like we disagree so bad to the point like, hey, put our arms up and say, okay, done deal, can't do nothing about it. We just have to agree to disagree. Unfortunately, I don't see women do that a lot sometimes, and sometimes it happens to get the man involved. We get a bunch of other family members, we get the guy involved, and next thing you know, we got people making phone calls, drive-by shooting, and some people get killed and stuff like that. Blah 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 goes on. That's sort of how it happens. Then I'm just putting it like that. It was like I said, in this situation, both parties, those females started calling relatives up. Time I got my brothers, uncles, and cousins. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And now the one that's by herself is her boyfriend. She's calling a bunch of people. Boyfriend runs off 2 doors down to talk to this boy because he is just totally embarrassed by the situation, and I can't blame him. I actually wanted to talk to her and try to calm her down. She wanted to fight me because I'm just talking to her. I didn't even put my hands on her or nothing. I just thought to say, hey, you know, what you really angry at? And she gets angry at me. I almost fight. I was like, well, I just sat there and listened to her. I laughed at that. I know she ain't about to hit me. She just a little upset, don't know what to do, and I threw her off a whole nother loop. I teach you that technique later on. Works very good for toddlers when they act up too. But that's not the point of the video. You know, it just at some point we got to decide: can we just all just try to, at least if we can't agree, at least get along enough to say we walk away and say, hey, there's better things to get back to another day, or explain what's the real reason of the real disagreement. That's what I'm saying. All the rest of the stuff unnecessary. All the rest just going to grab folks and calling, making phone calls and making threats and selling roof tickets and cutting them in front of them. Your kids, their kids, for what reason? What type of zombie setting? I mean, really. And in the neighborhood relatively where I'm at, it's basically pretty peaceful for the most part. Now you got drama going on, and this happened to be in the same neighborhood. There's actually a police officer lives in the door or two of both of these folks. So I'm wondering, like, what do you really think? Do you really think y'all go out shooting is gonna happen? You folks will be in jail before you blink. You'll have like 15 people in jail over a simple argument. So what I'm just saying is, as black women, you're gonna come to a man, okay, some other guy that messes with you and you didn't do nothing to him, you got to be out and he touches you, grab you, or try to slap or assault you. Okay, I understand you being angry. But you women getting to argue with each other about something stupid like that, don't go get your man involved in this, because this is what happens. And that's why I say y'all do anxious struggle going sometimes necessarily. Not all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them, but I've seen enough incidents to say, oh man, there is a problem. And I hear the dog out black women just saying is, let's just think about what we do before we do it. That's it. And man, if you got a woman like that, be very careful. Don't run and say I'm ready to go in and be Mr. I'm gonna fight for you and don't know what you're getting into. Thank you very much.